Hi, welcome back to Chef and Steward. It's Kari. So it's been a while since you've had a kitchen garden update, and for good reason. To be honest, I have been avoiding you. I've been avoiding you because things have been dying. Like literally, lots of things have been dying in my kitchen garden. And I think I need to take responsibility for it, but the truth is, I did buy some soil from a reputable company, and they weren't supposed to sell me the soil in the state that they did. I got soil filled with fresh manure, and it created a whole host of problems. It was not properly mature manure, and so drama. On top of it, of course, you know that I'm coming from not having any topsoil because I had gravel in my yard before. So I did have to replace what would have been soil, even if it was like, regular. But because I had nothing, I had to remove all of the stones, as you know, before, and then I had to put something down, and I bought this soil, and that has been a nightmare. So even from the beginning, I added lots of additives to the soil, lots of other soils and whatever, but it was a huge donkey mess. But don't take my word for it. Let's take a walk in the garden. I'll show you exactly what happened, and I'll show you how I fixed it. It was around this point that I recognized that things were not really growing, and the things that were growing were not necessarily growing the way I wanted them. Things were yellowing. I was seeing pale yellow-green leaves on top, and even very yellow leaves underneath for many of the plants, and some of them really had not grown at all in comparison to those that had not been transplanted and were still in pots elsewhere in the garden, in containers. Those were doing well. Even my moringa tree, which grows in absolute deserts, was struggling. This is a zucchini as well. And I did the lasagna method in terms of layering and stuff, and with the cardboard and stuff, because I wanted to be able to have that degrade and add more biomass to the soil. So I'm cutting off all of these leaves, the yellow ones. I can't cut all, but I have to cut some because I have to leave enough leaves for the plant to be able to get the sun and make nutrients and chlorophyll and whatever not, so you can't leave it without, especially a seedling. That pepper behind it has been there forever as well, and that has not grown. It looks about the same size 2 weeks later. These are things that had just come up, and they came up well. Oh, look at that. That's my avocado. This is my banana tree I transplanted. It hadn't done so badly. I put all of the soil around I literally took everything out of the pot, and we dug a really big hole and put this in. And then we put a lot of mulching on top and stuff. So this one didn't do so badly. It wasn't, but it's still not, it wasn't green, very, very, very dark green and stuff. So I pretty much chop and drop, again trying to add nutrients. Those are some small watermelons. This is my Cantaloupe. I had a few seedlings, and this was a plant that I got, the first plant I got, and they're still not really very leafy. They're old, as you can see. The plants are old and shriveled, but they have not produced a lot. I wanted them to get to seed so that I could actually have more seeds to plant. Closer look at the moringa yellowing at the bottom. So this looks like a nitrogen deficiency, but I just think it's a deficiency of everything. So and then I also had put mulch on top because all of the soil that I got was so dusty. There was no weight to it. It was really just like dust. And so I had to put What you see there is cypress mulch down to stop wind erosion. This is a potato. I have 2 potato plants that I grew. So I think I had 4 zucchini, and I think I'm down to 3 now. Or maybe I had 5 and I'm down to 3. So the zucchini seem to have done better. I have a group called Grow, Cook, Build, Bake, and Create on Facebook, and I posed the question of how to help, and Adela Pear responded, I use all my kitchen scraps, like produce peels, stems, even seeds, etc. Everything edible that I use in my catering, I collect and place in one of my 2 composting bins and 1 composter, and I never buy artificial fertilizers. When the compost is a bit past halfway being composted, I dig the holes and place the decaying matter into the holes and cover up with good garden soil, on top of which I transplant my seedlings. This season I counted 83 squash plants, though I'd only sown around 8. Seeds from the compost that sprouted and added to my plant. I really didn't need to sow as many seeds as robust seedlings were found in the compost bins. I'm growing cabbage and rapini only because they were in the compost and grew on their own. So exciting. Of course, the soil also improved. So Adela has given me a really good idea to use this method to improve the quality of the soil over time through the composting from all of the excess that she has from her own bases. I'll be using those tips as well as others that I'm going to show you now. We're making biochar.
This takes a long time. Bigger hole. That's so beautiful. Gonna start a big fire. The hotter the better. The faster. Click on out the fire.
With water.
Which water? Did you bring a bottle of water? Yeah. Oh.
This is how we make charcoal. You just do it with wood, and then you get some sticks, wood, dig up the hole, get some rocks, and then there you have it. You have charcoal. But this is a perfect time to do this at nighttime, when there's a lot of wind.
Shh, nobody move.
So I'm going to be using this charcoal that we're burning here, and I'm going to be combining it with compost that I've been making for the past few weeks and aging them together to make biochar. This is a compost that I've been aging. It's ready now with kitchen scraps. So we'll age it even further together with the charcoal that has been cooled off, ground and cooled off together. And we will have a mass called the biochar that will be a soil additive. Another soil additive that I'm looking at are organic fertilizers. This one is 432. This other one that is finished now, I'm just showing in the package because I had used it. It was 336 nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus and potassium. And it's made mostly from chicken. It's chicken manure, with some of them have feather meal involved as well, egg-laying chickens. So this is I got from the organic store. Also got this thing, which I swear to you, it smells like fish hell. There's a person from the build, bake, and create group on Facebook. You need to join that group. It's really fun. Who recommended this? And oh my goodness, it's good, but be prepared to shower like hard a few times afterwards. I decided to use a combination of mostly organic soil amendments with all of these organic fertilizers, as well as soil amendments with the compost and mulching and all of these techniques. And I used a few chemicals because the soil really needed help. The things I grew in containers did a lot better. So I didn't have to put any of these non-organic fertilizers. Now watch what as Jaja gives you a tour according to his perspective.
We like lettuce. The little ones are lettuce. And this is tomato. And that's zucchini.
This is cantaloupe.
Cantaloupe. I love cantaloupe. And this is
This one is
zucchini.
This is pumpkin.
Pumpkin.
And what is this coming up here?
So and this is ginger.
Yeah, and show me the okra. There's one okra coming up.
I love. Wait, do I love okra?
You will one day. Okay, show
And
us.
this is pepper. My mom my mom thought it was papaya, but it was pepper. So I'm happy because I don't like papaya.
And this one is
I
cantaloupe.
Cantaloupe.
And look at this. Look at
This is how do you call it? And this is radish.
Yeah, there's a little tiny radish in here.
And this is I'll let my mommy explain because I don't know.
Those are beans.
Beans?
What's in that kettle, Elijah? What does mommy put in the kettle?
Stinky fish pea.
It's not fish pea.
Stinky fish tea.
What tea?
Stinky.
And this is what? Do you know what this is?
Um,
Those are peppers in my what plant? What plant is this? Lemongrass.
Lemongrass. And this is what's this again?
Look in the viewfinder. That's a cantaloupe.
Cantaloupe.
And that's a moringa.
Moringa. And this is like a tomato plant.
Keep your finger away from the
Camera.
the
This
camera.
is a tomato plant. And these two are mine.
All the tomatoes, the big tomatoes are here.
And this one is start growing, and you can see there's like a green one. It's well camouflaged in the leaves. And we're going to the pathway, and there's two tomatoes growing. That's mommy's. Now we're going to the pathway. Now we're going to the pathway. Mama, I'm starting. These are radishes. And there's one growing in the pathway that I'll show you later. These are...
Only look in the video.
These are peppers. These are peppers. And this is... What's it?
Pigeon peas.
Pigeon peas.
Or
This-
bungo peas.
These are radishes. And
That's garlic here.
garlic, pepper. We plant a lot of pepper. But most of it is sweet pepper. These are radishes. Again, we planted a lot.
Keep the camera steady and look through the camera only.
And this is the radish I was talking about. Wait, in the pathway. Hope you can see it. Wait. This. So that's the right is in the pathway. And that's what's this again? I keep on forgetting.
Pigeon peas.
Pigeon peas.
Look, keep the camera steady.
Some more pepper. I don't know what this is. More pepper. And some more garlic. More garlic. I think like some like spicy garlic, but it was like too spicy. Some more pepper, and I don't know.
Camera steady.
And that's what's that?
Zucchini.
Zucchini. And the ants are not good for your like plants because they like get to the plants and then they like eat the plants.
What is this right here?
I don't know.
A potato.
Patata.
You would say potato,
Patata.
potato, tomato,
Now just continue.
tomato. Let's call the whole thing off.
Things have been growing really well in pots. These are tomatoes I got from the store. They were cherry tomatoes. One was red, one was yellow, and one was purple. And I opened them, squeezed out the seeds, and planted. The only thing I fertilize with is the chicken compost, as well as I compost that further with water, letting that sit for a few days up to a week. It smells like hell again, but it works. And these are my Madame Jeanette and ahi peppers from Aruba. And some seeds have turned into peppers. I'm so excited. Some flowers have turned into peppers. I've been growing these peppers since February, so I've been waiting a long time. Every day he goes out and he tests his tomatoes. So this is what the soil looks like. That gray thing is a mixture of like sand and decomposing granite, and that layer on top, that little brown layer, was what I bought from the yard soil that I bought from the garden company. But you can see just how horrible that is, and the soil that I got on top wasn't any better. So the one on top, this is like a professional potting mix. So this is what I figured out. This method is really what really saved me for the transplants. I found this out late in the game, but what I started to do is I started to do my tomato transplants with an egg, and I would break the egg, plant it on the side, lay the stalk on the side, so it would be a horizontal transplant as opposed to a vertical transplant, and then just use the soil to position the stalk upward, and I'm demonstrating how I'd cut off those lower limbs so that they would not be against the ground. And the tomatoes that have been transplanted this way have done very well. I didn't have any more pots, so I had to transplant more things, even though I knew that the place was not necessarily optimal. And so this method has worked. The other tomatoes that I transplanted without the egg didn't do well. This is my chayote, which has now started to split, and there's a seedling coming up. There are leaves coming up, so I'm now going to cover it buried and allow it to start growing. I need to figure out where I'm gonna put this, because these things get very heavy and they grow and bear very, very fruitfully. So I'm looking forward to having lots of chayote, or we call them chocho. harvest. They also call choco. And this was my first harvest. This was Cantaloupe that I got from this garden. And this is also a garden update a few weeks in. Just still paying a lot of attention to it. Adding biochar. You can see how dark it is. I also did the poop tea. And lots of things has happened. I cooked this. I made a recipe on the website, chefandstewart.com, in the month of June. And I also got mentioned all over the world on Instagram and Spruce Eats. People were doing the recipe that I made with watermelon feta salad. That recipe is also available on chefandstewart.com. And these are some of the other people who were participating. Follow me on Pinterest as well. My Pinterest is growing, and these are some of the recipes you can get from the blog. Back to the garden. Guess what happened? I woke up one day after the rain, and guess what? We got rain. We did get rain. And look at how the zucchini grew. Remember that zucchini that was struggling in the beginning? All of the amendments have worked. All of that, it's been a lot of hard work. And look, it's a ripening tomato. It is a ripening tomato. Look how awesome that looks. We got so excited. So Jaja got out every morning before going to school. He wanted to walk through the garden and see what was ready for harvesting. He was there every morning even before the first harvest because he knew that at any time it would be time to harvest. This is my pumpkin. I didn't put my pumpkin out again because in the garden because those that I put down didn't do well, as well as the okra haven't done well. So I put these in pots, and look at those in the pots. The ginger is doing well. This is loose leaf lettuce, which I planted also in containers because those in the beds did not make it. And look at these babies, organic loose leaf lettuce in my bed. But there's a story about those. I didn't get to eat them because something else did, and I had to just watch them die. I tried everything, but yeah. Now that I'm looking at it, you can see this video, you can see the whole starting. These little tiny green worms got over them. And this is my lemongrass. I got one tiny stalk from Jaja's drumming teacher several months ago in February, early March. And this is my avocado. You saw that tiny thing peeking out at the beginning. Now look at my mango. All of these things, the avocado, the mango, the chayote, I've grown from seed. I'm so proud of myself. That is my cantaloupe, also from seed. Got the seeds from a cantaloupe that I got in the supermarket. And that's another set of lettuce to be transplanted. These I saved from the bigger garden because from about a month they were down and they wouldn't grow. And now they started to grow. Those are some more pumpkins that I put down. And here are the peppers coming along nicely. I sense some nice jerk seasoning coming up. These are like cousins to the Scotch bonnet, like close cousins. They shouldn't intermarry. That's how close they are. That one is gonna be really good, I can tell. And I'm letting my cantaloupe go to seed because I absolutely love cantaloupe. If I could pick one vegetable that I had to eat for the rest of my life, it would be a cantaloupe. And this is we call this, I think, Indian thyme in Jamaica. There are different names for it. It's called oregano in Aruba. Different people call it different things. And I was just fascinated by the color of that fly, simply because it wasn't in my house. Flies outdoors, no, not much of a problem. Flies indoors, drama. Here are the tomatoes ripening even more. Another day, another bit more. And now we have, 9 of these on this other plant that's on its own. So we've also figured out that one tomato plant is best put in a pot by itself as opposed to putting multiple, 3 or 4 or even 2 in a larger pot. it just seems to work better that way. And I'll show you the transplants in the garden of those other tomatoes. There's a different variety of tomatoes, and these are Roma tomatoes, and also gotten from the supermarket. These are the ones I've transplanted with the eggs. And this one I had to replace because, and oh, this is the suckling that I'm showing you here. I'm going to remove the sucker. So removing the suckers helps to keep the tomato growing vertical and not get too bushy like the other ones did. So I'm removing these little suckers. Find those suckers and remove them while they're young. That's the best time to do it. Again, removing suckers. And these are doing so well, having been transplanted with the eggs. So well. They're already flowering, even though they've been transplanted, no shock at all. Look at my banana, and those 3 things are watermelons. Look how fantastically they've grown. Lots of biochar, lots of fish emulsion, lots of poop tea, and organic chicken compost. Zucchini is looking great as well. The peas have gotten, look, it's my first flower, my first flower, my first flower. And in our group in Grow, Cook, Build, Bake and Create on Facebook, when everybody posts like a flower or a harvest, we have to dance. So it's really fun. So yeah. These things are still struggling. Those things that I put in from the beginning are still struggling. So the soil is taking its time to, really improve. I also need to add lots more topsoil. Those are about 2 months old, those radishes, and look at the size of them. It's crazy how tiny they are. They're not growing. They're just not growing. So it's gonna take a while. Those are seeds that are probably a month old as well, that were not growing. And look, it opened. Yeah, fun stuff. You need to join me on Instagram. I just showed you this because I think it's really great. I went to the garden store and they had this planter, and I thought it was a really great design, and you might want to look at it. It has 3 different sections, and each section has mini sections. They've got partitions in between, so you can plant different things, and it's pretty much modular, so you can separate them or put them together. But I think it's quite genius. So if you want to build that for yourself, go right ahead, knock your socks off. It's a great way to get a lot of produce in a small space and not have to do what I did. And I may just decide to do this at some point once I'm able to make that investment in the garden. So you need to find me on Facebook at Chef and Stewart. You need to find me on Instagram, on Pinterest, everywhere at Chef and Stewart.
These tomatoes up.
Come, hold it.
Got it. I'm hungry.
Hold them.
Both of them?
Yes.
What? So these are the tomatoes. We should share one with Paul. We should share one with him. Why don't we get the tomatoes to Paul?
Wait.
But you can't.
Oh my god, there was a baby one we didn't see. Oh man. Oh, that sucks. We killed that baby tomato.
Huh?
We killed that baby tomato.
We killed him?
Yeah.
Well, at least there's 2, right?
Yeah, at least there's, but guess what? That's edible too, I think.
Huh?
So you're gonna have, which
I'm
one?
gonna have 2.
You're gonna have both? No, you're not gonna have both.
Let me, wash
Hold on, here.
Wash it. I'm gonna wash it.
Okay, here.
Don't forget to subscribe and turn your notifications on.
I'm not gonna.
You hold it. Okay, alright, okay. Alright! You just went at my phone. Stop. Wait.
For great tomato recipes or any recipe, head to chefandsteward.com. So things are growing now in the garden. See mushrooms coming up. Join the party at Grow, Cook, Build, Bake and Create on Facebook. Thanks for watching. See you next week.